Hello, hello, everybody. Your weekly moment of inner alchemy. Just take a moment to arrive together. There we go. I could stay in this space all day. It just feels so serene. I want to hold on to it for as long as I can. Even in that short of time, to access that space is so powerful. Let me just make sure we're going. Here we are. And it doesn't really take long. You know, this is the thing I keep realizing again and again and again for myself and guiding others, is that it doesn't take much to shift from one state to another. It doesn't take much. Sometimes we think we have to scale this tremendous mountain to get to where we want to go. And you know, maybe that's true, but how do we do that? We do that one step at a time. And before you know it, you're there, right? So let me go straight into the drawing today. I'll bring that up. There definitely have been a lot of themes becoming apparent to me in the last week or so with my sessions and with myself. And it's coming up again in the drawing. So I didn't get a chance to post that earlier. So here it is for your consumption. Get that without the reflection of the light. There you go. You get the idea. Okay, so this is what came through. And I'll post the drawing up later for you. Are so many things, contradictory opinions. I think we can say that's been the order of the day for the last few years at a heightened level, but it's been that way for a very long time. But today, the information that came through was so many things, contradictory opinions. There are as many opinions as there are perceptions. Remove your perceptions. What do you notice? What is left? So imagine yourself wearing a pair of sunglasses, or, you know, one of those really cool chakra color glasses that have different colors on them, right? Which are really nice to harmonize the body. But what I'm saying is, when you're seeing something through particular lens, you remove those glasses and then things look different, right? You put them back on and they're different again. Right now, I'm not wearing my glasses, so I perceive the world with a slight haze, but I'm able to see a lot more clearly. Okay, so remove your perception. What do you notice? What is left? So just take a moment and look around the space you're in. Now, you've probably looked at this space many times before, if you're in, you know, the same space that you tend to listen to these sessions, or it's a space you're familiar with, and you just accept it, right? You take it for granted maybe, or you just have an assumption about the space. Right? But what if you were to take your perception away, and this was your first time here, and you were taking in this space with completely new eyes? How would you perceive your environment? How would you perceive the world around you if you did not look at it as the way you were looking at it before? What happens? Okay, you have an addiction to define. Okay, we're constantly collapsing our world into these definitions, into these boxes, into these categories, right? We do this naturally. Okay, so we have a thought, boom, it collapses the wave into that construct. We are constructing the world around us with the constructs we have in our mind, right? So we have an addiction to define. We're doing this. We're programmed to do this, and we're programmed to define things in particular ways. okay, based on other people's perceptions, based on education, based on media, based on family, based on culture. You get the idea. Okay, you have an addiction to define. Take away the labels, what you've been told to see. Okay, so if you didn't know that blue was blue, or that, you know, this egg shaker was an egg shaker, how would you perceive this? How would you explore this? How would you interact with it? You'd interact with it differently. Okay, and what do you see now? So take away the labels, what you've been told to see, and what do you see now? Okay, what I'm finding, and I'll go into this in a little bit more detail, is that when we take the story away, we actually have a lot more leverage and a lot more space to change a pattern in the way that we interact with the pattern, especially when it comes to something that we can track pretty quickly in our physical body. Okay, everything we experience, we're perceiving through the physical body. Hello, hello. Who's saying hi? I can't see. Hey, Anne. I'm enjoying your I hope you're having a wonderful holiday. I'm enjoying your photojournalism. So when we take the story away, we have an easier time of shifting something for ourselves. And I do this for myself on a regular basis. And I've been teaching my clients that. Oh, hey, Cindy, nice to see you. And I've been teaching my clients this, and it's making it easier for them to shift their patterns. So I want to just talk about this a little bit with you today, because I think it's really important, because sometimes we can get really stuck in a place. We can get stuck in a pattern, and especially if it's something we've been dealing with for a long time, and it doesn't give us a lot of room to move, right? It's kind of between a rock and a hard place. So when we take the story away, what's left? Okay, I'm going to give you an example first, and then I'm going to invite you to do one. So the example that's coming to mind right now is usually I notice it with interactions with other people. So the when I was having a conversation with my ex, it would I get activated, right? We would have conversations that we would have to have, but the old pains and hurts would come up. So how would I want to change this pain that I was feeling? It was an emotional pain for myself. And so what I did is I took the story away, and I started to notice just the sensations and the feelings that my body was experiencing. And I wasn't attaching any meaning to it. I wasn't creating a story around it. I wasn't saying, oh, he did this and it reminded me of this. And it wasn't any of that. I just took it away, and I began to notice just the sensation in my body, where it was and how it felt. That was it. Then I said to myself, okay, this is very interesting. It was very uncomfortable, but the moment that I just connected with it, the emotional charge started to kind of dissipate pretty quickly, because I wasn't making up a story. It was just a sensation. It was just a vibration. It was just information that my body was feeling, that I was interpreting as this event, as this experience. So what did I want to happen? I wanted a different feeling. So I began to feel the feeling I wanted to have. What did I want to have? And as soon as I did that, and it took maybe a couple of minutes for me to really feel that feeling fully, when I went to have that conversation, I was not activated, and everything went so smoothly, and it was really a beautiful connection, and everything worked out as I had wanted. And I wanted harmony. I wanted it to be beneficial for all involved. That's always my intention, is to always be beneficial for all involved. That's one of my ground rules. Okay, so how can we apply this to a physical sensation? Same way. Okay, physical pain. You're still experiencing the pain through the body. Okay, it's still a discomfort. Let's take away the definition. I mean, when we're talking about health and we're talking about things like, let's say, anxiety or cancer or whatever it is, these are big definitions, and they have a huge consciousness around it, and it doesn't give you a lot of place to go with it. You're kind of stuck within that. But in Chinese medicine, which I love, we don't look at things that way. We look at them as patterns of information. Okay, we're looking at it as a pattern. So we're not collapsing it into a particular dis-ease. We're collapsing it into a balance, an imbalanced pattern. So we have a lot more maneuverability with it. So this is what I want to kind of convey to you today on how to do this for yourself. So bring to mind something you're feeling or something that you felt recently that's uncomfortable for you. It can be a physical pattern, can be an emotional pattern, it can be a relationship, dynamic, just like I shared with you earlier, whatever it is. Okay, and bring that to mind. I'm going to bring the sounds in just to support us. Okay. Now, maybe it's your ankle and you're like, oh yeah, when I was 10 years old, I sprained my ankle really badly and it acts up now and again, and I've injured it so many times. Like, that ankle has a story, right? And that's what our body does. It holds all of our stories. It's this beautiful library of our personal history and collective history as well on a soul level. Okay, but we have the ability to transform it into from a dissonant state into a harmonious one. Okay, good. So, and I see you're connected now with that. Okay, so now from here, notice the thoughts you have around whatever it is you're experiencing. Okay, maybe if you experienced so many times before, you have an expectation. Okay, that also is a definition of sorts. It kind of keeps you stuck there. So we're just going to expect that it's going to be better. Okay, let's create a new expectation that whatever we're doing, it makes it better. Great. Okay, so now from here, just notice the thoughts that arise, connecting with the discomfort you're feeling in the body, and just notice the sensation and just notice how it feels to you. Maybe it feels like, when I'm tracking it, it feels like a granular sensation in the digestive system for whoever that is. Okay. Other one I hear like a break. Okay. So I can sometimes hear the story that happened, the experience that originated that trauma. So just notice how you're perceiving that information without making up a story about it. And if the story comes up, great. Just become aware of the feeling in that part of your body. Beautiful. Now, all you're going to do from here is just, what do you want to feel? What do you want to feel? And if it's physical in nature, then you can do something even as, I am healthy. I am healthy. I am healthy. Now, health might mean something different to you than it does to me in this moment. So just feel the feeling of what health means for you. If that feeling weren't there, how would that feel? Just feel into the feeling that you want to have, the more preferred feeling, right? We talked about this in the last couple of sessions as well. What's the next best feeling you can have? But I want you to take it a step further. Rather than the next best feeling, what's the feeling you want to have now? And feel it. There you go. Now, if you're working with a part of the body, like an ankle or a joint or something like that, start moving that part of your body as you're feeling that and notice what happens. Okay, you might have more flexibility, more flow, more ease. There you go. Nicely done. Okay, so like I said, it doesn't take a lot to make the connection and restore that harmony and flow. It just takes your awareness to do that. Okay, so what happens is when we're feeling these discomfortable, that's not a word, discomforts, when we're feeling these discomforts and these uncomfortable feelings and this dis-ease in the body, what's happening is there's a disconnection, essentially, in the flow of vitality as it moves through you. Okay, and what we want to do is restore that flow and harmony. And we can do that by feeling the feeling of harmony itself. That vibration will harmonize the one that is not vibrating the way you want. To give you an example is when you come for acupuncture and your shoulder is hurting, I'm not going to put needles in the shoulder that's hurting. It's already an upset, it's already angry, it's already inflamed. Okay, I'm not going to add, more fuel to the fire. I'm going to needle the opposite side of your body where there is an abundance of chi. And I'm going to allow the body's intelligence to heal and harmonize itself and restore the flow. And what happens is people start to feel that movement and sometimes an ache, right? So we're doing the same thing with the power of awareness. And I'm going to talk more about this in the 5 secrets to vibrational health and optimal well-being this week, actually 2 days from now on Thursday, July 14th. So you're welcome to come. I'm going to share more about these kinds of tools that you can use to transform the vibration of your being into one of health and harmony. Okay, so this is one simple way to do it. We're going to use our thoughts strategically, like a needle, to harmonize the nature of your body and of your flow. And when you feel good, that's going to affect all areas of your life. Okay, so just notice where the discomfort is in the body. When you're thinking of something, for example, if it's a difficult situation or relationship, you're still feeling that in the body. So whatever you're feeling in your world, you're still feeling it through the body. So just connect with where that is. Take the story away. Notice what's there. Notice the sensation. And I always like to put my hand there. It naturally gravitates there, just so my body knows that I'm connected with it. Okay. Then, after just being with that for a few breaths, what do I want to feel? And it's some form of harmony. I want to feel harmony. Now, the feeling of harmony is different for each of us, and it's different for me depending on what I'm harmonizing in that moment. But I feel what I want to feel. And then I feel that completely. And again, it takes maybe a few minutes to do. If the story comes up, then I drop the story again and bring my awareness only to the sensation, only to the vibration. I take the story away. I don't define it. I just interact with the feeling. There you go. I just interact with the feeling. And I feel the feeling I want to have. And that makes all the difference. Okay, dear ones, this is just going to be a brief session today. So I thank you all for coming together with me to harmonize the nature of oneself. And I hope to see you Thursday for the 5 secrets to vibrational health and optimal well-being, 1 p.m. Eastern. If you can't make it live, which I highly recommend, but if you can't, there will be a replay for a limited time. So I will put the link in the comments. Facebook has been deleting my event, calling it spam or goes against community standards. I don't know. These algorithms are a bit interesting these days. So do look for it in the comments, and I hope to see you there. The more that we can raise our vibration to one of health and well-being, imagine what this world would be like. Imagine what your world would be like. Imagine how your life would be when you could go around day to day knowing that you can care for your well-being and attract exactly what you need to get you there. Okay? This is powerful stuff, and it doesn't take much. I am all about effortless power. What is the simplest way that I can achieve the most effect? And I have found in my practice and in my experience that it is, for me, 5 elements: the breath, sound, language, movement, and art. And I will be sharing some of those with you on Thursday. Wishing you a beautiful day, dear ones. Until next time, blessings.